What's up out there? I wanted to do a follow-up to yesterday's video. This is just going to be a quick video. I'm not going to go out and do any combat or anything. I'm just going to show off some changes here. I got a lot of feedback on the build that I had so far. So this is Bone Shatter Slayer, and this is Karn's build. I actually went back and watched his 321 video, and I've already watched his 322 video, and then the other one for 323. I've watched them like all out of order, but I went back and I rewatched the videos, and I spent a little bit more time with the POB. I need to spend a lot more time. I need to go through those videos again, take more notes, because the other two videos after that built off of what he did in the first video. So you kind of got to watch the one and then see what changes came along with the next one and the next one. And I need to go back and revisit all that, but he had a lot of good base information in the original video. So that plus some feedback I got yesterday, I went back and redid a few things, and I went back and researched on how certain things work. And I also went and reread what you'll find if you're a newer player, or I don't know, I'm sure the older players find the same thing. If you're following a POB and you go through, there's the little tabs at the bottom that let you choose between the different, you know, you're at this part of the game, Act 1, Act 5, whatever, in game, early in game, or like on this one, it's got like ashes or something like that. I'm assuming that's like some gear or something that I don't have yet, or maybe can't get. I don't know. But you go around and you switch between the different ones, and each tab on the passive side has different stuff. Each thing on the gear side, each thing on the skill side, they're all different. So I went through and I made sure that I was on in game on every one of those tabs. And it did change things up a little. The point that I'm driving at with that part of the conversation is it did drive some changes into my gearing. So I did go through and rebuild my axe. So I've got this axe, which is better than the one well, this is actually less damage than the Vol axe I had, but it's a Despot axe, which is supposed to be the better one for this. It gives like more accuracy or something like that. So I just whipped this thing up and threw it on here, and it was better by a lot. Now this dropped, it's a fracture item. It's got grants 5 life per enemy hit, which isn't great, but I built this up and it was a 6 link. Or, I'm sorry, it was a 6 socket. It wasn't 6 linked, it was 6 socketed, which is fine, because in the process of going back through the POB again, I noticed that there was supposed to be, I revamped everything. He had actually labeled, you know, certain things, certain skill gems go up into the helmet, certain in the gloves, you know, etc. So I formulated this based on what he showed there, which has Ancestral Protector and multiple totem support here. And then you get the Molten Shell, cast when damage taken, Warlord's Mark, and Life Tap here. So I was not sure how cast when damage taken worked, so I was leveling everything up. So what I found out, and this is, like, you have to read everything, not only just in the POB, but you have to like read every little node on the passive tree. You have to read every skill gem. Like, you have to read everything. Unless they call it out in the notes, you have to pay a lot of attention to the build you're following. And it's not just the build guide itself. There's so much other stuff in there. I did not know how cast when damage taken. For example, this one here requires level 38 on level 1. Now, if you read down in here, it actually says this gem can only support skill gems requiring level 38 or lower. So the idea is if you leave this at level 1, you only take 528 damage to trigger all these other ones. So this one here, I'm at level 36, or I'm sorry, this is level 32. I think I can upgrade this to 36 because the cast when damage taken is stuck at 38. So I think I could get one more level out of this. And then the Warlord's Mark is at level 37. So I think it's all still working. Like, if you level this up one more time, Warlord's Mark will just not work. It won't be triggered by this because it's above 38. And then same thing with Life Tap. Now this one's at level this one's at 33. If I go to the next level, it'll go to 37. I could probably do a couple of these upgraded, but I'm going to leave them where they're at for now. It's working. It's doing fairly well, so I want to leave it with that. I think I had a blue gem here where Blood Rage is. I revamped this to follow the guide and then put this Flame Dash over here by itself. I could almost get rid of Flame Dash. I don't really find myself using it. I do that Leap Smash so much more of the time. But whatever. So today I'm getting 39,041 DPS on the tooltip. Now I know that could be significantly higher. I've watched the video. He had like 100 and a quarter or something like that, or a lot more than this. So there's a lot more to go. this is just kind of the beginning of getting all of that fixed. Like I said, you kind of follow a build guide for a while, and then you have to revisit it and go back through it all again, get a deeper understanding of what everything is built at. And that's where I'm at right now with this build. I was solid with Righteous Fire. I had a very good handle on it. Not that it was perfect. I mean, I could have done a lot better with it, but I'm at the very beginning stages of this build. So I've got a long way to go. Bear with me. It's going to take a while to get there. I've also gone through, and I think these are all item level, well, 60s or 70s. So we'll see what happens with these. I don't know that I'm happy with the exact flask that I'm going to use, but I did make sure that these have gain. Well, this one, yeah, this has got gain 1 charge. These I need to work on, but I at least worked on the granite one and the amethyst one. There should be this one's for evasion, and then we'll have one for faster running. But I need to get these used when charges reach full. I need to get that done. But I just haven't had enough instilling orbs, so that's another problem I'm going to work on. Somebody brought up that this Onyx amulet is not necessarily for this build. The reason I have it on here is because this blew the Onyx amulet that I had out of the water, because this one offers the extra dex and intelligence. It just relieved things off of the rings and amulet, or the other 2 rings that I had, and I was able to swap these out so that I could get better resistances on these and get some stuff built up. Oh, somebody said I should put I need to put a craft on here too. But I also put this martial experience on here, which gives you 30% increased physical damage. Now, this is another thing. I was watching Karn's video. He mentioned that you want to put something in here for spell suppression. There's an anoint for that, for spell suppression. I'm going with this one right now. It's 30% more damage just because. So the amulet's not going to stay permanent. None of this gear is probably going to stay permanent. I went through today, and we'll get into the mapping stuff here in a second, but I went through today, and I've been collecting up some higher level gear. So this is like level, what is this? 84. So I've got some level 84 stuff. I need to filter out this older crap in here. I got 83, well, 70. I'll get rid of this older 70 stuff. What I'm hopeful for is I can get level 80, 84, 85, something like that. Maybe this stuff will be a little better. Some of this stuff came from tier 16 maps, so, or a lot of this did. Like there's an 85 one, so I might be able to. Why can't I click on this? So like that's level 85. Man, you can't drag it. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say drag and drop should work. I don't know why it's grabbing on. So there's a piece of armor and a set of gloves. So I might try working those up if I can drop it in the right spot there. So I may try working these things up and seeing what I can get out of them. I did go get, like I had a bunch of alchemy, orbs of alchemy. I was running low on orbs of alchemy. I've been running tight on chaos orbs. So I've got a whole bunch of currency in here now. Looking much better on that front. I'm changing where I'm going with things. So the build is going much better right now. And another thing that somebody pointed out is that I needed to have my evasion rating higher than my life rating. And that is because I have this passive node right. Is it? No, it's not that one. This one. Precise technique. 40% more damage if accuracy rating is higher than max life. So I forgot I had that, and I wasn't even paying attention to it. Again, I'm just learning this build. So there's aspects to it that I haven't quite gotten yet. As soon as they mentioned that, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That did get shown. I knew that when I picked it, and I ignored it basically. So got to work on that. And that's kind of about it that I've done with this. I think I need to get some physical. Boy, desync is bad. So there's like impale or something like that increased. Yeah, I might need to put this on there. You know what? We'll just go ahead and toss that one on. Now we get 51,000. So yeah, 95% increased physical damage. Oh, crap. Nope. Meant to highlight over that and press this, not space. So yeah, a little bit of room for improvement there. That hit on the low end of that one. But regardless, so we're going to get a lot more damage. Now, I also finished off all of the mapping. Now, that doesn't include the unique maps. I still have to go do all of those. But I've got the entire map out. it's done. I've got all this stuff done, and these went much better. Now, you just saw me put on that damage on there. If I'd have put that on it, it went far easier, but the mapping today went much easier with doing, I didn't change any of my armor or anything like that. All I did was give myself a lot more damage, and a lot more damage tends to delete the enemies before they get a chance to hit you. The bossing was much easier, and all of this is going to keep stacking and going forward. So this is done. All that's over with. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Have you ever seen a fractured map before? I like didn't know this existed, and 2 of them dropped. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. I was like, wait, that's fractured. It's odd. Didn't know you could get such a thing, but apparently you can. So we've got that done, and let's see here. I did get an Immortal Flesh, so if that ever comes up, I am going to be able to run an Immortal Flesh. Let me make sure that I am not on top of this. So I have started making changes to my Atlas tree. Now, I was running this Stream of Consciousness. I dropped that out, and I dropped Wandering Path. Once I got all the maps done, I'm like, all right, I don't need any of that. I backed out of this Kirok stuff over here. So I've came up the middle here and back over. I know that's kind of a stupid angle. What I'm going to do is get some more points. The next couple I get are going to drop in here, and then I'll back all this off. I don't have enough. I need to get those to where I can refund these. Actually, I can refund, but I don't have any to apply. And I don't have enough to, like, I have 4 that I could refund now, but I could only get 2 of them here. I'd still need to refund the rest of these. So even if I backed a couple of them out somewhere around here, I still wouldn't have enough to fix all this. So basically what I did is I came up through here. I've got most of the Betrayal stuff lined up. I think this is what I want to do. I've came up through Betrayal, and I'll eventually come up through here, reduce some of these, and then be able to put some points into other things. We're going to skip this Essence node over here. It contains an additional one. I don't know that I care. I'll back this off, maybe even back it to here. I could potentially take those 3 with whatever I clean up here. But I want to go hard into Legion and Betrayal. I need more unlocks for Betrayal. So we'll go into Betrayal here. I went into Legion here. I tried this Timeless Conflict one last time where it doesn't have a timer and it's got some weird schism thing that builds up. I didn't really care for that. I didn't understand it. Like, you just kill a bunch of stuff. I thought it would let me open up the entire pack that comes out with it, but it didn't. So I didn't care for it. I just leave that one off. But then I'm buzzing around here, picking up Syndicate again, coming into this Legion set here, coming back around to this Legion and Betrayal section up in here, which we could probably clean some of this up coming over the top here to this Legion section and then get rid of some of this other mess down here. But there's some cleanup that can be done. I just wanted to get some of this stuff knocked in and then adds to, like, get these notables going for the Essence ones. So what my plan is now, what I'm going to be doing this week is spending time running low level maps, just regular level 1, 2, or tier 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I don't really care. I want to run some low level stuff and focus on trying to do some of the league mechanic, do the Wildwood stuff, juice up the maps, get some currency. I want to really build up currency. I've got some decent bases, I think. I think these are okay bases to work on. You know, this is item level 85, if I can speak. If I had some, I don't see any boots. No, I don't have any boots for that. So I might rework some of these. What I'll try to do is replace the gear that I have with higher eye levels in the hopes that I get better gear. Now, I know this isn't 6-link, but I did get the, no, I don't want that. I did get the 6-linked sockets. I'm going to have to get a lot of these things to do it, but I can actually craft that if I have 1,500 of these things. So my goal right now is going to be just to get as much, man, this is getting laggy. Yeah, this is about the time of night that it starts getting really laggy when it does this. So yeah, I'm glad I'm done for the night. I'm out. I was blasted away today and I'm kind of done with it. I also got this invite down here, the Incandescent Invitation. I think that is for the Searing Exarch, so I've got that battle to go fight at some point. And that kind of catches us up. That's where I've gotten to today. And that is pretty much where I plan on going. I do still plan on doing a second character. I'm just going to mention this. I do still plan on doing that Scion. But the one problem that I ran into last league is I started focusing on all those other builds. And where I ran into issues is once I got them into the mapping section and started trying to gear them, I ran into the problem that I'm running into now. I ran out of currency, and then I wasn't able, I just didn't have enough currency to gear one build, let alone 2, 3, or 4 of them that I had. So I'm going to do the Scion one, but thinking ahead, I want to try to get as much currency stashed up as I can. I want to get more essences. Like, this is all the essences that I have. I need to farm a lot of those. I did a little bit of the really juiced up stuff earlier. Now, I didn't put chisels on these or anything, but I did run these as with the wild wood in there, just as much as I could get. And they were a lot easier to take down, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, I will also point out that actually running the Bone Shatter build itself, you build up your stacks of trauma up here. What I noticed is that when I would kick off, I don't know if the Ancestral Cry does it. I didn't look at that exactly because I was running both Blood Rage and Ancestral Cry, and it was just going bananas and hitting left and right. And next thing you know, I'd kill myself. And in Karn's video that I watched again earlier, he was talking about, and I forgot about this too, you got that 6-second window that your trauma stacks have to dissipate from. So that as you build them up, it takes 6 seconds to get rid of them. So I was basically overloading on them and killing myself. And that was because I switched over to Blood Rage, and I think there was something else I had here different. But this switched over to Blood Rage, and once I started kicking that thing on, I was killing myself left and right. So what I found is that if I go and hit the main boss for a little while, and then this leap slam off of it, leave the totems up doing their thing, and then leap slam back into him and start hitting again, watch my health drop down, leap off, leap back. I started doing that and leaping around, and it seemed to work fairly well and make things go much easier. So just learning some of the techniques on how to make this thing work without, I can't fully mitigate the trauma stacks yet. I think more health and stuff like that will help out a lot. And there's some other life leech that I could get, probably life leech on some of the gear and everything. And I still have to do all the implicits, but I don't want to waste any more of the currency that I have for this until I actually get I'm not going to call it final gear, but more closer to final gear. I did hit a node where I got a ton of these lesser Eldritch Embers. It gave me one of those altar things, and it said, every so often you're just going to get one of these. I got like 10 of these off of one map. So I'm slowly piling all this stuff up. I actually want to start getting some more harvest. Like, there's so many other things that, we're just a little bit over 1 week into the entire league. So I've got 2 months, 3 months to tinker around with this. So right now I've got all the mapping done. All I have to do is just sit back, finish off the unique maps that I have left, build up some currency, start working on getting some gear. I did level up one, so I can, because I'm going to try to tackle lower level content, it'll take longer to level up, but I feel like I'll be able to survive more. And I was actually surviving a lot of the red map, the tier 16 stuff I did. I was surviving really well, like way better than I expected. There was a few real nasty speed bumps, but all that seems to be really good right now. So I'm going to focus this week on working on my gear, collecting up currency, working on my gear, that kind of thing, reading more about the build, and just in general that. And then I have 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year's. I'm taking that entire time off, and I have no idea what I'm going to do, but we got to get through this work week first. And after that, I'm going to have a blast on, or maybe just do a lot of this. Anyway, that will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.